This is your recap and review of Night 1 of Wrestlemania 36. I am your host, Tyler the Trademark. It is Saturday, April 4th, 2020. Wrestlemania 36, Night 1 just ended 33 minutes ago. And I am here to cover basically the ins and outs of what happened on this show. And let's face facts here, coming in. I'm going to be honest here, going to be straight up with you. Going in this match, and I don't understand the amount of people that were upset by this. It's not really a surprise to me, but we knew coming in that this was going to be a rough show. And for the most part, it was. Just seeing, some of these, just seeing these matches and these segments and shit, just seeing those in an empty arena, an empty performance center, and the WrestleMania logo, it just did not feel the same. It did not feel like WrestleMania at all. It sucks. It really does. But, that's the hand we were dealt with here. It really was. Now, I seen somebody on Twitter say, well, why didn't they just move, why not just, put the matches on random episodes of Raw and SmackDown and just scrap Mania altogether and just postpone that until, let's say, SummerSlam, and replace SummerSlam with WrestleMania. Fact of the matter is this. Logistically, and I'm thinking about this on the side of WWE here, while in theory it makes sense, I would have much rather preferred that. So that way, when we have a actual crowd, we could have WrestleMania after all. WrestleMania in the summer. Or at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. The problem is, you already built these matches up. You already set the date. You already had this set in stone. It doesn't make sense to just scrap it all together and just say, well, we're just going to move Mania to another date. I would have liked to have seen that. I would have liked to have seen WWE do what NXT did with NXT TakeOver, but, it is what it is. This is the hand we were dealt with. And overall, this was a very, very meh show at best. Boneyard closing, I guess you could say segment. Don't really call it a match. It was more of a segment. That was solid. That was fucking great. The Boneyard match between Undertaker and AJ Styles, and I'll get more into this when I get to it. But I thought that was I thought that was a fantastic fucking production piece by WWE. That was probably the best production work I've seen WWE do since the Final Deletion match that they shot a couple years ago with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. I thought it was terrific. I really did. And tomorrow night is probably not going to be any exception. John Cena versus Bray Wyatt, Firefly Funhouse match. It's not going to be any exception at all. I expect that match to either top or equal. I'll probably go with equal. I think it'll equal this match. And I really do believe that. I think they could get really creative with this. I wish they got creative with the rest of the show, man. I really do. I wish they would have poured the heart and soul creatively into the production of this show, because this just felt like your average run-of-the-mill Raw and SmackDown in an empty performance center. It didn't feel special at all. And it didn't feel like Mania. Everybody said this coming in, and it reigns true. Does not feel like WrestleMania at all. And I honestly won't be surprised if, they look back on this and just say, well, aside from a couple moments here and there, or let's not have let's not have people remember this WrestleMania, and and this is probably the most likeliest of terms, will put on a huge show if we get fans back. We'll put on a hell of a show at SummerSlam. That's probably what I'm going to think here. SummerSlam could very well be the WrestleMania we were supposed to get this year. I highly believe that. Now, when that happens, I have no idea. That's wishful thinking on my part, obviously, because we have no idea what's going on with this coronavirus. We have no idea what's going on with the current situation. We don't know. We don't know yet. But, nevertheless, we're here for a review, and let's get started on it, shall we? Without further ado, kicked off of the show with the kickoff match between Drew Gulak and Cesaro. I thought this was a good match, man. I thought this was a solid way to kick off the basically festivities. This was on the Mania kickoff show. Tomorrow night we'll have Liv Morgan and Natalya on night 2, and boy, am I excited to see that match. Honestly, I talked about Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley being, a randomized match on WWE 2K20. Liv Morgan and Natalya is no exception to the rule either, because my fucking god, you couldn't get any more random than that. You really couldn't. But, nevertheless, I will try and give WWE credit where it's due. They tried doing a little bit something different with the staging. And now, the staging looked very fucking similar to Raw and SmackDown, aside from the two end pieces, the two LED end pieces that we saw at the bottom of the stage ramp, but nevertheless, it looked the same. It really did. And plus, too, you also had two big WrestleMania logos emblazed in the PC. So I guess I give them credit there on that, but, nonetheless, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to be too harsh on WWE. I'm not going to be too harsh on this show. I'm not like some people anyway. I know I've been highly critical of what's all been going on with WrestleMania and stuff. I know I've been highly critical of it, but I'm not going to be that critical of, the production and this and that. I get it. I really do. What I am going to be critical on, though, and we'll get to that. We'll get to it when we get to it, but my God, man. But some of these booking decisions were weird, to say the very least. But continuing on with Drew Gulak and Cesaro. Cesaro beat Drew Gulak. Went for the gotcha neutralizer. Drew Gulak countered. Then Cesaro hit the European uppercut. Then he followed that up with an airplane spin and pinned Drew Gulak in the middle of the ring. Cesaro beats Gulak, and that's how he kicked off the festivities, if you will. So, not going to really delve into anything in the pre-show, because that's what it is, the pre-show. Corey Graves and Peter Rosenberg were hosting the WrestleMania pre-show from a studio somewhere. Don't know where it was, but it was at some studio. And look, it's just weird. It really is. This really was a weird fucking show, to say the least. We kicked off the actual show with basically a public service announcement from Stephanie McMahon. She was tap dancing on her explanation by what's going on in the real world. She said this year's WrestleMania will be different due to the circumstances around the world. No mention of the coronavirus whatsoever. And this is another weird fucking thing, too. WWE not mentioning the coronavirus or COVID-19 whatsoever. It's like Vince McMahon is afraid of that word. It's like he doesn't want that word to exist in his planet. It's very weird. That's more evident when you go back and see that Triple H interview that interview Triple H did on ESPN, rather, or it was just weird. He was basically stumbling and bumbling around like a fucking idiot, all in the name to step around the fact of, somebody asking him a question, well, what are you guys doing to combat the coronavirus? It's fucking weird. I don't get it. I really don't get it at all, man. It's like they don't want any mention of that word. It's like COVID-19 is Chris Benoit. Can't mention it whatsoever. Don't mention it in front of anybody in the world of WWE. I know that's a bad comparison, but still, it's very weird. Steven Mann also went on to say that WWE is committed to entertaining everyone during these difficult times. We followed that up by a montage of everybody who sang America the Beautiful at WrestleMania, which I thought that was well done. I thought that was very creative for a rendition of America the Beautiful, and I didn't have a problem with it whatsoever. I really didn't. Rob Gronkowski, opened up the show, or Mojo Rawley did as well. They set the stage for the next 2 nights of WrestleMania. It also went on to say out the same, or at least Gronk did, out the same words that Steven Mann used. We're here to entertain you, or we hope you enjoy this entertainment. I personally wasn't really entertained until the final match between Undertaker and AJ Styles, but that's just me and probably a few other people as well. So moving on. Alright. First match on the card was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors. This was the opener to the main show. Michael Cole was joined by JBL on commentary. I would imagine this is going to be tomorrow night as well. JBL and Michael Cole on the SmackDown side. Of course, Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton on the Raw side. Why isn't Corey Graves doing commentary with Michael Cole? I don't really understand that at all. Unless if he's self-isolating with Carmella, is basically saying the same things. Yeah, she said, because they're technically fucking. So, I don't know, I don't know. That's just my speculation there, but moving on here. This was a decent match from what I've seen. And I couldn't really watch the match in its entirety. I might have to go back and watch the rest of this match, but considering the network stream I was using was fucking up repeatedly on my TV anyway, I basically watched the rest of the show on my phone. I basically had to watch the rest of the show on the phone because for some reason the stream on my Xbox was not cooperating whatsoever. But it's alright. Like I said, final match for what this was Nikki Cross hit Kairi Sane with the spinning nutbreaker, followed by a Twisted Bliss by Alexa Bliss. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss are your new tag team champions. Who cares? Who honestly gives a shit about these titles? Who gives a shit about this division? I sure as hell don't. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I feel bad for the Kairi Sane fans that got fucking pissed and triggered over, this result, but you kind of seen it coming a mile away. You kind of seen it coming. I even predicted this on my preview and predictions show yesterday. When I recorded that yesterday. And I didn't really budge from that decision, and I was right in that decision. So, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are your new tag team champions. King Corbin versus Elias. Seen Corbin come down to the ring and showed us what happened 8 days ago when he knocked Elias off of that platform at the WWE Performance Center, or made that weird which in terms made that weird sound effect, that weird splat sound effect once Elias hit the concrete or the crash pad. I haven't tweeted this out as well. I'm surprised this didn't get enough love, but I tweeted out that who did it better? Big Show and Kurt Angle, when Big Show was basically trying to kill Kurt Angle when he threw him off that ledge on SmackDown in fucking 2004. But that's just me. Hey, Corbin demands the ref to forfeit Elias and award Corbin what he said, second Mania match in a row. Or his second Mania win in a row, I should say. Of course, last year he beat Kurt Angle in Angle's farewell match. We hear a strumming guitar. And it's Elias coming down to the ring. Corbin tries to attack Elias. They brawl. Match eventually gets started. And match at best. It was fine. I thought it was fine for what it was. Not really a fan of how this ended, though. Not really a fan of how this ended. Elias rolling up King Corbin, not only for the win, but Elias also grabbed the tights from Baron Corbin as well. So, Elias playing dirty to win. I'm not really that much of a fan of baby faces, cheating to win, unless if it's absolutely necessary, like if your career was on the line or whatever. But I'm not a fan. Not exactly a fan of baby faces, doing heel tactics. But Elias beats Corbin. And moving on, Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. We see Becky's truck pull up to the Performance Center. That god-awful eyesore-looking fucking truck that Becky Lynch has. As Shayna makes her way to the ring for the Raw Women's title match. I thought this was a fine match between these two. Now, granted, this was taped, so who knows if there was any botches between either Becky or Shayna. No, I don't really care too much about this. I don't really care too much about that, though. I thought this was a fine match for what it was. I enjoyed it until the ending, where Shayna Baszler had Becky Lynch in the curfew to clutch. And then Becky Lynch rolled up. And then Becky Lynch, for the second year in a row, mind you, second WrestleMania in a row, Becky Lynch rolls up somebody to get the win. Becky Lynch rolling up Shayna Baszler, gets the win. She retains the Raw Women's Championship, and I am not a fucking fan of this at all. You had Shayna Baszler run through I lost count of that, actually. Yes, Shayna Baszler run through 5 other women in that Elimination Chamber match, which will probably go down as one of the worst chamber matches, or one of the most boring, I should say, chamber matches in history. You had to do all of that. You had to basically play foil to Becky Lynch. And basically saying that she's going to kick the living shit out of Becky, this and that. All for Shayna Baszler just get rolled up 1, 2, 3 by Becky Lynch. Now, I don't know if there's more to this story or not. I don't know if this is the end of the feud. I hope to fucking Christ it's not. But Shayna Baszler should have won the Raw Women's Championship tonight. Or when this was taped, I should say. Shayna Baszler should have won the Raw Women's Championship, but instead, you gave it to Becky Lynch, because why not? You basically fed Shayna Baszler to Becky Lynch. That doesn't sit well with me at all. And don't give me the fucking excuse that, well, this is a, big title, and WWE didn't want to change titles in front of an empty arena. Spoiler alert for you guys. Braun Strowman is your new Universal Champion. He beat Goldberg in a, basically 4-minute match? Probably less than that? By hitting 4 fucking power slams on the guy? So don't give me that fucking excuse. Don't give me that excuse. You could have had Shayna Baszler as your new Raw Women's Champion in an empty arena. I don't care if it's to get major heat or not. I don't give a shit. You could have done that without a crowd. And now, even if Shayna wins the next match, it's gonna be too late. Here's what I don't hope happens. Here's what I don't hope happens, and I think this might happen. I really do believe that. They are going to build Becky Lynch up. They're going to have her be a fucking goofball again when this is all said and done. And then before you know it, Ronda Rousey comes back. And if we have a SummerSlam this year, I could probably easily see Ronda Rousey beating Becky Lynch and taking back the Raw Women's Championship. And where the fuck does that leave Shayna Baszler? Besides nowhere. If this is the plan that you had for Shayna, you should have just left her at fucking NXT. She could have been Shayna fucking 3-time for all I care. At least there, she's doing something. I don't like this at all. I do not like it at all. Hopefully we see something happen on Raw when we get the post-WrestleMania Raw on Monday night, but I don't know, man. It just doesn't sit well with me at all. It really doesn't. Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn. I give Daniel and Sami all the fucking credit in the world, man. They made this empty arena setting work to their advantage. Hell, even Cesaro and Drew Gulak, they made it work to their advantage as well during this match. But it was mainly Sami and Daniel. The trash talking, the just basically stiff shots that these two were giving one another. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the hell out of this match. Sami Zayn, as I predicted, retains the Intercontinental Championship. Caught Braun in midair with he caught Braun in midair with a variant of the Haluva kick. I thought that was pretty cool of Sami Zayn to do. Look, I mentioned the reasoning behind why I gave the prediction I did yesterday, if anybody was listening. I think this is it for Daniel Bryan. This could be very well Bryan's last run, and Bryan could hang it up after his contract expires. That might be why Bryan didn't win. Now, I could be wrong, and Bryan could still end up winning the Intercontinental title at some point. But look, I think that this was a very telling sign to me of what Daniel Bryan is going to do. And I don't think Daniel Bryan's future is with WWE anymore. I think Daniel Bryan is going to want to spend time with his kids and obviously his wife. So, look, if this is it, hey, more power to him, man. More power to him. This isn't really a swan song, because if he retires after his contract expires, I kind of wish his last WrestleMania match, though, wasn't in an empty building. That's what I wish. If Bryan decides to hang up. Like I said, I could be fucking wrong on that. I really could. Triple Threat Ladder match, John Morrison, Jimmy Uso, and Kofi Kingston. Coming into this match, I wasn't really a fan at all of not just, the ladder match with one person of each tag team for the tag team titles, because I think that's fucking stupid. Dude, but I just thought it didn't really make any sense at all to have any type of ladder match in this kind of environment, an empty arena. I just thought it didn't work. I was actually wrong. I think I was actually wrong on that. This was a fun ladder match. This was a hell of this was a hell of a ladder match. Hell of a creative finish, too, by the way, with John Morrison retaining the SmackDown Tag Team titles. These two really laid into one another with the ladders. And, like I said, creative way to end it with John Morrison as he was going down on the ladder bridge when he was knocked down by Jimmy and Kofi. He grabbed the tag titles and they weren't hooked. Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston were looking for the titles and they weren't there. So Morrison grabbed the titles and Miz and Morrison retained. So, I thought it was a hell of a finish, man. I really did. And I gotta give him credit. I gotta give Morrison, Uso, and Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston whole hell of a lot of credit where it's due. And they did make it. They made it work. They really did make it work. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. This was a pretty good match between these two men. I really enjoyed it for the most part. This match, the only real complaint I have with this should have been no disqualification from the get-go. This should have been announced as a no disqualification match from the absolute get-go. Don't really like the fact that Seth Rollins got himself disqualified, and then Kevin Owens, says, no. We're not doing it like that. That's not how this is going down. No disqualification match right now. And then the match restarts as a no disqualification match. I'm personally not a fan of that. Storyline-wise, I could probably see why they did it, but I'm not really a fan of it at all. One point during the match. The no disqualification portion of the match. We saw Seth Rollins laying prone on the announce table. Kevin Owens climbs up on one of the big WrestleMania logos, one of the big WrestleMania signs in the Performance Center. Climbs up on it. And he and this motherfucker basically does a fucking senton off of the fucking sign and onto the announce table. I thought that was a cool ass fucking spot. I really did. And that was pretty much a WrestleMania moment. That was Kevin Owens' WrestleMania moment. That and hitting probably a broken-ribbed Seth Rollins with probably broken ribs. Well, at least he sold it like that. This motherfucker sold it like death, which he should. Owens grabbed Rollins. Rollins basically saying it doesn't have to end like this. All while he's favoring his ribs, and Owens delivers the stunner and pins Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens gets his WrestleMania moment, and he gets another WrestleMania moment in that sign dive, because my God, was that fucking something. Holy shit. I fucking love that. I really did. Overall, fine match between Rollins and Owens. I enjoyed it. I don't know how other people felt about it, but I thought it was fine. One segment that this show could have did without was Rob Gronkowski and Mojo Rawley basically recapping what we saw in the night and what's to come, and R-Truth comes out and it tries to, convince Mojo and Rob, hey, can you guys hire me out? I just won my baby back, which is the 24/7 championship. I just want my baby back. I don't want to lose it again. Well, little did R-Truth realize, Rob Gronkowski blindsides R-Truth. Rob goes for the pin. Mojo basically turns his back on his best friend and gets him out of the cover and pins R-Truth. Mojo Rawley is your new 24/7 champion once again. And so, I'm interested to see how that plays out tomorrow night. I am sure R-Truth is going to win the 24/7 championship back. Seen a promo. We got a promo from Paul Heyman. As he was talking to Charlie Caruso, he scaled poor Charlie to death. But this was mainly to hype up the WWE Championship match, which will be tomorrow night between McIntyre and Brock Lesnar. It's going to be interesting to see how that match plays out. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not they give the title to Drew, or they give Brock Lesnar the title retention. I have no idea. I really have no idea. I picked Brock Lesnar personally because I think they're going to give Drew McIntyre the moment if SummerSlam has a crowd by August. If we get crowds by August, then they're going to give Drew the title at SummerSlam. But I could be wrong. I was wrong on Shayna Baszler winning the Raw Women's Championship. So, and I was wrong on this decision too. Braun Strowman versus Goldberg, the Universal Championship match. Of course, this was supposed to be Roman Reigns versus Goldberg for the Universal title, but of course Roman Reigns pulled out of the event altogether, or last week, so that's how we came to this point with Braun Strowman. And this match was what you expected. Goldberg hitting Braun Strowman with like 4 or 5 spears. Braun Strowman kicked out. Goldberg tried going for the jackhammer, or attempted the jackhammer rather, thank God he didn't. Braun Strowman countered out of the setup position for the jackhammer, hit Goldberg with a power slam, and he goes on to hit Goldberg with 3 more power slams, and Braun Strowman is your new Universal Champion. I was absolutely fucking floored when I seen that. I was floored with this decision. Now, like I said, I guess talking shit to, your fellow wrestlers, I guess talking shit to, people who are currently out of work right now, being the moron among men. I guess that awards you not only a title shot with Goldberg at WrestleMania, but I guess that also awards you a Universal title win in the process. So there you go. Oh, can't really say I'm a fan of Braun Strowman becoming the Universal Champion. I personally thought that, Goldberg was going to beat Braun. Braun was just there to take the fall, and Goldberg holds on to the Universal title until we get crowds back, and until Roman Reigns is comfortable enough to work in the climate that we're currently in, until Roman Reigns is comfortable enough, which, who knows when that's going to be. But, yeah, I thought Goldberg would retain. I thought it was going to be, Roman. I thought they were going to basically save the Goldberg, I'm all over the fucking place here. Jesus Christ. I thought, my apologies for stumbling, holy shit. But, yeah, I thought Goldberg was going to retain, and maybe at SummerSlam, we'd see Roman beat Goldberg for the Universal title. I was shocked. I was honestly shocked to see Strowman win the title. Now, does that mean we're going to get Braun versus Roman again? I have no idea. Rekindle that feud because, to be honest, I know people shit on Braun Strowman now. I know people have shit all over Roman Reigns for quite some time too, but, those two bring out the best in one another. They really do. And if we're being completely honest. So, maybe that's the case, but I have no idea. I honestly have no idea what's going to happen here. Or maybe Braun Strowman holds on to the title, until next year's WrestleMania. I don't think that'll happen, but, at this rate, who the fuck knows? With this coronavirus shit, I mean, we don't know. We do not know. I hope this pandemonium and shit doesn't last until, fucking next year. I really hope that's not the case. But, moving on from this, we got a promo package for next year's WrestleMania, which is scheduled currently take place at the new SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Of course, Inglewood's near Los Angeles, so technically Los Angeles. But hey, who knows if that's going to go on as planned too, if this thing continues. I doubt this lasts anything. I doubt this lasts over a year. I really do. But, like I said, who knows? Finally, Boneyard match between Undertaker and AJ Styles. And by the way, speaking of next year's WrestleMania, if tonight and tomorrow night are going to be any indication, I think they're going to want to load up WrestleMania, especially if there's no SummerSlam, or if SummerSlam has to be moved to the Performance Center as well. We could very well see WrestleMania being stacked to the fucking gills next year because of this. And who knows, that could be for the best, that could probably be for the absolute worst, considering, that might be a lengthy-ass fucking WrestleMania, but, like I said, WWE got dealt with a bad hand this year. They really did. Not just WWE, fucking everybody got dealt with a bad hand this year. But like I said, Boneyard match. Undertaker versus AJ Styles. Of course, this was basically shot like a movie. Saw a horse drive into the gravesite area where this match was taking place. And we seen two druids come out of the horse. We see them open up a casket, or open up the back of the horse. There's a casket. They open up the casket, and it's AJ Styles emerging from the shadows. And AJ Styles wants the Undertaker. He wants the Undertaker to come to him. Well, he does, alright. The Undertaker channeled the American Badass and Big Evil himself. That's right. American Badass Undertaker was back in this match, and I absolutely fucking loved it. I loved this version of The Undertaker that we saw in this match. I really did. And not just the version of The Undertaker we got, the production, the production that we saw, the fucking, the movie-like feel that we got out of this match was outstanding. It really was. This was fucking awesome. The Undertaker, at one point during the match, was beaten down. He was broken. He was out of it. AJ Styles was about ready to bury The Undertaker. And then out of nowhere, The Undertaker rose up from behind the tractor that AJ Styles was on. And Taker started going on the attack. Undertaker and AJ Styles were basically talking shit to one another the entire match. Mainly Undertaker. You know how fucking refreshing that was? To hear The Undertaker talk shit to AJ Styles? That was fucking cool. I really thought that was great. They climb up on this siding of an abandoned house. Luke Gallows and Cole Anderson follow suit, trying to save AJ. Well, they end up paying for their troubles because Luke Gallows, I'm pretty sure, got killed for his troubles. I'm pretty sure Luke Gallows is dead. After, he got thrown, or at least probably seriously hurt, after, Undertaker threw him off a fucking house. But then again, Undertaker fucking also chokeslammed AJ Styles basically on top of said house as well, and AJ Styles basically stood on his own 2 feet until he was, big booted by the Undertaker into the gravesite below. Undertaker buries AJ Styles, then leaves on his motorcycle once again. He grabs his bandana, puts it back on, and rides off into the night sky. We see flames he does his signature pose. We see the flames come up on the top siding roof of the abandoned house. We also see a holographic image come up of the Undertaker symbol, which I thought was kind of cool as well. And we also see, as one of the closing images, the hand of AJ Styles that was sticking out from the gravesite below. And of course, Undertaker also revealed the tombstone. Of course, the tombstone was covered for the duration of this match. Undertaker uncovered the tombstone. It was AJ Styles. It was his tombstone with his birth and burial date, so to speak. That was funny. At one point during this match, fucking AJ Styles is begging Undertaker, please don't bury me. Please don't bury me. It was like fucking, I think somebody else on Twitter fucking mentioned this too, and I fucking loved it. AJ Styles was basically pulling one of Triple H's opponents in the Ruthless Aggression era during the Reign of Terror when Triple H was fucking world champion for a year. So I thought that was funny. Hey, and then Undertaker, of course, teasing him, basically saying, I'm not gonna bury you, brother. You fought your ass off. It's the type of thing. I'm not gonna bury you. He ends up burying him anyway. Hey, don't trust Biker Taker, let me tell you. But, yeah. Hey, closing image as we go off the air was Undertaker riding off into the night sky. Or into the night, rather. And from top to bottom, I thought production-wise, this match was fucking brilliant. I really did. And I think I mentioned this on top of the show, too. I wouldn't be surprised at all if John Cena versus Bray Wyatt either equals or tops this match. Because I thought the production of this match, it was brilliant. And I think I could probably it might be the same blueprint for tomorrow night. With John Cena and Bray Wyatt, movie-like feel to it, and, basically shot in a rail. Of course, this wasn't shot in a rail house. AJ Styles and Undertaker, I don't know what the hell this was shot at. I think it was shot at some cemetery somewhere, or at least it looked like it. It could have been a rail house, I have no idea, but John Cena versus Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse, you could definitely, it probably will be a warehouse type of feel somewhere, like an abandoned warehouse. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see how they pull that off as well. And you know what? I think this is gonna be the same blueprint that we see tonight, card-wise. I really do. I think if Braun Strowman versus Goldberg told me anything, if the Universal Title match told me anything, it's gonna be the next to last show, next to last match rather, for night 2 of WrestleMania. I think that might be the case. But, any event, thought this was like I said, I thought this was a mess show at best. But, the main event kind of saved it for me. It really did. The main event kind of saved some shred of this Mania. But overall, it's just, this isn't WrestleMania. This isn't WrestleMania one bit. And it's sad. It really is sad. But, yeah, this is the hand that we dealt with this year. It really was. So, hopefully next year we won't have any of this shit. And we'll get a WrestleMania that we probably all should deserve at WrestleMania 37. Who knows? But, like I said, if Night 1 was any indication, Night 2 is not going to be any better. It just isn't. So, that's it for me. I am out of here. You can follow me on Twitter at _TM_show. Boy, I'm going to be glad to change that once the 30 days are up. April 18th. By the way, I have it saved on my reminders and my notes. Changed the handle back to at trademark_show, which was, of course, the handle I actually prefer better. So, that change will be coming up. Instagram at trademark_show, basically same handle, all lowercase though. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel because I will be uploading, I think together, not really sure how I'm going to do that, but the plan is to not only upload these reviews, but I'm going to upload them into one video. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know how I'm going to pull that off, but since I record on Spreaker, but I think you could get audio from Spreaker, and I think you could use it anywhere else. At least I think so. So be on the lookout for that. If I have to, I'll just probably post the reviews separately. If I have to. But I will be back tomorrow for episode 36 of the Trademark Show, appropriately enough, because Night 2 of WrestleMania 36 is tomorrow night as well. Of course, I will be back here, up and running for your Night 2 review and recap. Until then, and take care of yourselves, everybody, and I will see you all later.